Hi, Samuel. Can you hear me? Can
Yep,
you hear me
yes, I
now?
can.
There we go. Perfect. Awesome. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty busy, but yep, staying on top of
Yeah.
things.
Okay. So a little busy, but good. Um, so yeah, you told me a little bit about, like work and everything. So
Mhm.
thinking about today, what would you say is your main goal for this session? What would you like to see yourself accomplish in this section?
So during this week, I did manage to get um recorded.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I was looking through the scripts and I was like, some of this could really be what's the word? What's the word for kind of vocal choreography?
Maybe like vocal agility. Is that
Probably
kind of what
because
you're thinking about?
yeah, because I was looking at the Colleen and the cloaked figure one.
Yeah.
And I thought, how cool would that be to have to have like an idea about which sounds are going to be going in before
Yeah.
and then kind of build it up from there to sound like came straight from something.
Right. I love that.
So I was
Awesome.
wondering if that could be the goal for today.
Absolutely. I love it. So it sounds like too you have some scripts in mind already. Do you want to maybe pull up some of the scripts that we already had been working on and dig more into those then?
Yo.
Okay, great. So why don't we go ahead um and have you pull up the script that you're thinking about focusing on first, and we'll go from there. Oh, nice.
Sent it on the
Awesome.
chat.
Thanks. Perfect. So have you been practicing both characters then? Like
Yo,
different
yes.
character voices and just kind of going back and forth like a conversation, or would you rather I read one of the characters?
I've been going back and forth through them.
Cool, great. Yeah, I
Yo.
think that's a great skill. And if you can do that, you can pretty much do anything. So
Yeah. Yeah,
great.
I found out that the guy that voiced have you seen that show Futurama?
Yes.
Yeah, Fry actually voices the person who voices Fry does a whole bunch of characters on the show.
Oh, that's awesome. Very
Hmm.
cool.
So they
Yeah,
can't
that
get rid
is
of him.
actually pretty common. Like video games as well. They might have like a couple dudes and like one female, and they voice all the different characters on the entire video game. That's actually pretty common. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Easy
like
job
I've had
security.
times where like I've been hired to play one character that's like a more main character, and then like they also just have me voice a bunch of small characters too.
Oh, okay.
So,
Hmm.
yeah. I
Oh, that's
mean,
cool.
in that case, you know, you're just like, I'm gonna put that I was a lead on my resume. That's
Yeah.
but the little characters don't really matter at that point. Um,
True.
and it's just like, sure, pay me
Yeah, I was
overtime. Let's
there.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just show me where it's at, what you've done with it.
Yo, I kind of thought that a sort of smug French accent would be
Mm,
better for the cloaked figure.
okay, I like
And I
it.
kept I kept trying different accents with Colleen. Like
Okay,
of course I tried Scottish, even Indian, and a whole bunch of stuff. But I
yeah,
feel like just kind of Midwestern American
okay,
or a faint bit of British sounds the best.
sure.
But yeah, let me try it real quick. Oh, you swore you'd never return here, Colleen. I swore off a lot of things. Didn't stick to most. And yet here you are, kneeling at the altar you helped desecrate. I didn't come here to beg for forgiveness. I came here. Oh wait, I just realized the input is super low.
That's okay.
I didn't come here to beg for forgiveness. I came for answers. And if you won't give them to me, then I'll carve them out myself. What do you think?
Okay, nice. All right. So, um, very cool. Um, so I mean, I was captivated the whole time. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Um, yeah, so I thought it was really fun. It kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time you were doing it. Um, I was like, ooh, like what's gonna happen? So, um, I mean, obviously it was good if I was glued to it the whole time and, captivated by it. So that's a
Yeah.
positive thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, that's awesome. So um, I would love to talk a little bit about maybe your vision for the scene, like what you think is happening in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So could we take a look at that?
Yep.
Cool.
So just from reading the setting part, I can tell the at night raining cathedral. So I'm picturing like, of course, pretty noisy steps, bit of rubble under his feet,
Sure.
the echoing of the echoing through broken glass. I can picture broken glass on the floor too. Old cathedral kicking stuff aside.
Hmm.
And then I want to hear kind of tempted to actually let me reiterate. Um, so I see that he's kind of stump walking for a few seconds and then just the abrupt stop. And then we'll take a few seconds and then it'll be I know it says here um I don't know what that was. The it says he stands there,
Hmm.
but I feel like it create a little more emotion if he kneeled.
Yeah.
Mm,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
sometimes
much.
they give you what would be happening there, like they'll describe for you what would be happening. But sometimes they don't. And then you're like, I just gotta figure it out for myself. And I find if you have a really clear perspective that you know exactly what it is that you want to do with the script and what you envision happening, you're going to be all the more, committed to that scene as a character. Um, awesome. Very good. So then, another thing I wondered is if you have a particular character inspiration for each character, like a particular actor or like someone you're thinking of that you're trying to channel.
Uh, so for the actually, do I? Um, I don't think I was really thinking about a specific character.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
that's okay.
I kind of just felt that, I don't know, I think it might be that from my experiences in
Hmm.
watching shows and movies that evil French person with a long mustache.
Yeah, nice.
And and Caroline, he should be easy to understand.
Hmm.
His goals are straightforward. His his dialect is straightforward. But give me a sec. I feel like because I created that voice from somewhere. Um,
And that's okay if you're like, oh, I don't remember, but I did use that tool in, creating this character. I think that's all right.
yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So now just kind of like self-reflecting back, what were your favorite things about that take?
Mm, I kind of like the smug in the French voice. I
Yeah.
feel like I could have done a little better on the kneeling at the altar, you have desecrate. I feel like feel like I should emphasize a little more on the you and the
Mm.
desecrate instead
Right,
of
the
just this.
accents on those key words. I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Yeah, that would be good. So maybe we go through again and let's think about what are those most important words that you really want to lean into and emphasize and bring out more.
Hmm.
And like, why are you bringing it out? Why is it important for them to hear it? What's your point of view towards what's happening there? Yeah, let's try
Yeah,
that.
deal. You you swore you never did. Ah. Okay, I'm alive. You swore you'd never return here, Kalin. I swore off a lot of things. Didn't stick to most. And yet, here you are, kneeling at the altar, you desecrate. I didn't come here to beg for forgiveness. I came for answers. And if you won't give them to me, then I'll carve them out myself.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. So then, good. I definitely heard some things differently that time. Um, like things that I was like, ooh, I definitely didn't hear that like that last time. So that was really cool to hear. Um, so what would you say about that take? What did you like better about that take? Was there anything that you liked better on the previous take?
Um, I think I liked Kathleen's grittiness a little more in the last one,
Okay, for sure. Yeah. It's a
but
little
I
more
think
gritty.
yeah, but I think I
Okay.
did manage to get that rising tension that he's supposed to be having.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was pretty different this time. So that was really cool to hear. And what's cool is like sometimes you'll find things that you're like, okay, I liked the way I said this better in the last take, but I like the way I said this line better in this take. And you can actually kind of like if you record multiple takes, you can pick and choose your favorite moments too, and kind of edit them and piece them together, which is awesome. So let's try it again and let's try to incorporate that grittier quality, but with the way that you read this time that you liked. Okay,
Yeah.
let's try it.
You swore you'd never return here, Kalin. I swore off a lot of things. Didn't stick to most, though. And yet, here you are, kneeling at the altar, you desecrate. Didn't I didn't come here to beg for forgiveness. I came for answers. And if you won't give them to me, then I'll carve them out myself. Yeah.
Nice. What do you think? Was that your favorite?
Yeah, that one had to be my favorite.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, the villainous laugh just came right after it. It was like total instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
right just now.
awesome.
Hon.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Nice. All right. So then, mm, okay. Do you want to work on a different script then? Because I felt like that was great. And if you record it
Yeah,
like that, I'll be pleased with that. So
deal.
cool.
And then
All
I'll do
right.
the. So let's see. What was another one I was having trouble with? Um, oh, this isn't one I was having trouble with, but
Yeah.
I recorded this and I thought it'd be kind of fun.
Okay.
You mind if I just reenact it really quick?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Wherever you want to go. Oh, wait. I better paste in the chat real quick.
Okay.
Copy. There we go. It's a Toyota ad. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to conquer, the Toyota Adventure is ready for the journey. With unmatched power and advanced all-wheel drive, it's not just about the destination. It's about the freedom to explore everything in between. Designed for comfort, built for adventure. From city streets to rugged terrain. Experience the journey in total comfort and safety. Well, it sounds a little better than that, but you know what I mean. Like the alternating voice.
Yeah. Cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, okay.
I know
What did you
normally,
feel like was the strongest part of that?
uh, I think the strongest part would ironically be the kind of stuff that sounds a little more normal. Something
Yeah.
you'd expect to see in a car ad.
Okay.
I just thought the Scottish accent would be kind of neat because because this ad is, showing off that the dual purpose of the Toyota Adventure.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. All right.
Mhm.
So then let's go ahead and if you were gonna change one thing about it, what would that number one thing be?
Mm, um, I'd have to say kind of the ending. Feel like when I was doing the ending, it didn't sound like it was finishing. Sounds like there was still more going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me
Okay.
try it again.
Yeah, let's try it.
Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to conquer, the Toyota Adventure is ready for the journey. With unmatched power and advanced all-wheel drive, it's not just about the destination. It's about the freedom to explore everything in between. Designed for comfort, built for adventure. From city streets to rugged terrain. Experience the journey in total comfort and safety. Like that one a little better.
Nice. Yeah. Good. I thought so too. Like it felt a little more lively to me.
Oh,
Um, like a little more energy to it. Um, and I felt like a little more contrast as well. What did you like
yeah.
about that take?
I really like the contrast too. I did try to tone down the just the overall loudness of the Scottish in exchange for a little more,
Yeah.
um, what's the word? Articulation in the words.
Nice.
So it
Good.
doesn't sound like I'm having a stroke mid-sentence.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Great. All right. So then, um, if you were going to maybe tweak one more thing about it, what would you do?
Mm, mm.
Or are you happy with it? Are you like, you know what? I don't know what I would do to make it better. I really liked it.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I think
I
too.
liked it too. So I feel like, these two scripts are probably in a great place then to go ahead and record and use them as sample clips.
Deal, deal.
Okay. Do you want to do
Yep.
that now or would you rather do that on your own later?
Uh, I'll do it on my own since this week's going to be pretty open with the break.
Great. Okay.
Do you think we could go on to the witch one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I was having trouble with this because I kept trying to do the low, spooky, almost whisper sort of voice, but then it got to the like the character's own dialogue,
Yeah.
and then I don't think I added enough contrast.
Okay.
So, yep, let me try. It began with a shadow glimpsed by a child. The whispers quickly spread. A witch, they murmured. A servant of the devil himself. The town gathered, torches flickering like fireflies in the night. Abigail pleaded. She swore upon the Bible, upon her very soul. But the magistrates did not hear her,
Mhm.
only the gasping sobs of a young girl, trembling and pointing a finger. You, you bewitched me, the girl cried. You walk with Satan in the dead of night. The verdict came swiftly. The gallows loomed against the stormy sky, waiting like an open mouth as the noose tightened around her neck. Abigail lifted her gaze to the darkened heavens. They will never rest. They will never wet. They will never rest, she whispered. Not while the innocent suffer. Not while the guilty walk. Not while the guilty walk free. This town is cursed, and the dead will not forget. When the dawn came, the magistrate who condemned her was found lifeless in his bed, his mouth frozen open in a silent scream. Some say it was the devil, others say justice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. How'd that feel?
Felt really smooth, really attention grabbing. Or at least I hope.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. All right. So, do you have like a character inspiration? And I felt like it kind of reminded me of, do you know in Beauty and the Beast, the like the asylum director, like the mental health guy who comes and like takes crazy old Maurice
Whoa.
and he's like, we're putting him in the loony bin, you know? You know what I'm
Oh
talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah, in the live action one, right?
Well, he's also in like the cartoon. He's like the guy with the creepy long fingers and
Oh,
it's like,
yup. Now I remember. He's
yeah.
like, yes, I
Um,
see
I
the
feel
claw.
like it kind of reminded me of him a little bit, which is so cool. I was like, oh, he's creepy, you know? So
Yeah.
good job.
Thank you.
Nice. Good. So then, great. So what did you like about it?
Uh, I really liked, first of all, I really liked doing the voice. It was super airy, super just easy to get out.
Nice.
Sometimes I have difficult getting to that low position, but with that airy
Mm.
breath, it was able to talk a little easier.
Yeah, nice. Something I also really liked that I was going to compliment was your pacing and embracing the pauses, utilizing those effectively and like the timing of them too. Like some of the pauses maybe are longer and some are a little bit shorter. Um, and I really like the like depth and then like you don't feel rushed ever, which I really liked. Because a powerful person doesn't need to be rushed, right? Like they have all the time in the world. Everyone
That is true.
else has to cater to them and be on their schedule. So,
Yeah.
you don't have to be rushed. You don't, you're not hurrying. You can milk it. Yeah.
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 You're listening to my story.
Exactly. Yeah. So I really liked that. What were some of the things that you really liked about it?
Definitely what you mentioned, the timing. Like I was
Yeah.
trying to, some areas you want people to, have the thought marinate in their head a little. Um,
Yeah.
and other, and my favorite bit has to be which words I chose to emphasize
Sure.
because my favorite sentence, like the she swore upon the Bible, upon her very soul. I could say
Yeah.
she swore upon the Bible, upon her very soul, but has to feel a little more precise. She swore upon the Bible, upon her very soul.
Right. Instead of like shouting the entire thing, you accent Bible and her very soul. Yeah. Like that you want to be more specific. It's not just that everything is intense and loud, but it's like specific words and specific moments are going to be more intense or louder or have more of like a like this strong point of view, right?
Yeah.
So I agree. I think a little more specificity will serve this well. I think it has a nice flow and like a good overall feel, but I agree that we could be a little more nuanced and specific. Okay?
Hmm.
So let's go ahead
Yeah.
and try that again.
Yeah. It began with a shadow glimpsed by a child. The whispers spread quickly. A witch, they murmured. A servant of the devil himself. The town gathered, torches flickering like fireflies in the night. Abigail pleaded. She swore upon the Bible, upon her very soul, upon her very soul. But the magistrates did not hear her, only the gasping sobs of a young girl, trembling, pointing her finger. You bewitched me, the girl cried. You walk with Satan in the dead of night. The verdict came swiftly. The gallows loomed against the stormy sky, waiting like an open mouth as the
Ominous.
noose as the noose tightened around her neck. Abigail lifted her gaze to the darkened heavens. They'll never rest, she whispered. Not while the innocent suffer, not while the guilty walk free. This town is cursed, and the dead will not forget. When dawn came, the magistrate who condemned her was found lifeless in his bed, his mouth frozen open in a silent scream. Some say it was the devil, others say justice.
That was so much creepier. Good. Oh, that like made my skin crawl at times. That was awesome.
Thank you. That's one of the best compliments I can get.
That was awesome. Okay, so what was different about it?
This one, I thought what you were saying about the quietness,
Yeah.
and I thought a little spice of loudness, like thunder crashing, but also just I wanted her speech to come out a little more.
Hmm.
What's the what's the word that kind of means pulling someone down with them?
Oh, like I don't know, like you're dragging them or you're devouring them or like sucking them into the depths or
Yeah. sounds like that like she's gonna be taking them down with her.
Right. Yeah. If you take me down, you're going too. Love that.
If I am condemned, I shall drag you through the 9 circles of hell itself.
Mm. Nice. Yes. So that's definitely a threat, right? What do you feel like are
Hmm.
some of the tactics you use here? Like, um, the things that you do to get what you want. So, like, there, you're threatening them, right?
Hmm.
So, what are some of those things that you're doing, such as threaten?
Yeah, there's threaten. I'd have to say, up. I mean, the magistrate did die in his own bed. So I guess she made an example of one of them.
Okay, making an example. I like that. So, maybe like showing off,
Hmm.
um, maybe like intimidating.
Intimidating. Yup.
Right? So, thinking about what some of those more active actions are, thinking of some of those words can help to kind of clarify for yourself what needs to be more specific, right? And what you want to be trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hmm.
Cool. All right, nice. Could we maybe try it one more time? And let's just see if you maybe like find some, new moments or like you discover something else or you just like experiment a little bit. So let's just try it again and maybe just try something different with it this time.
Yeah.
It began with a shadow, glimpsed by a child. The whisper spread quickly. A witch, they murmured, a servant of the devil himself. The town gathered, torches flickering like fireflies in the night. Abigail pleaded. She swore upon the Bible, upon her very soul. But the magistrates did not hear her. Only the gasping sobs of a young girl, trembling and pointing a finger. You bewitched me, the girl cried. You walk with Satan in the dead of night. The verdict came swiftly. The gallows loomed against the stormy sky, waiting like an open mouth. As the noose tightened around her neck, Abigail lifted her gaze to the darkening heavens. They'll never rest, she whispered. Not while the innocent suffer, not while the guilty walk free. This town is cursed, and the dead will not forget. When dawn came, the magistrate who condemned her was found lifeless in his own bed, his mouth frozen open in a silent scream. Some say it was the devil, others say justice.
Okay. So what did you learn that time by trying, some variations? What were some of those takeaways, those insights you got?
Had to take your advice and dive into Abigail a little bit
Mhm.
because
Okay.
she should be scared. She should
Yeah.
be scared about all this. But no, she talking back to the magistrate, the corrupt in power, and telling him that basically saying the reverse of what they should actually be. You walk
Yeah.
with Satan in the middle of the night. You're nothing but a traitor. A traitor to
Nice.
those you swore to protect. She should be
Yes.
feeling frustration.
Right. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So you gained some insight into more of like the emotion of the characters, what they're going through and feeling and experiencing there, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Um, good. So what would you say is maybe something that you would keep from that last take that you were like, I want to incorporate that?
Uh, from that take,
Yeah.
definitely the definitely Abigail's new style of talking back.
Okay.
Because
Nice.
I th feel like in all the other ones, I was doing pretty well with the narrator one.
Sure. No, yeah, I really like the narrator. I think it's very like stylized, it's very clear. It's like consistent throughout. I really am liking the narrator. Um, so yeah, I felt like working on her a little bit more was the better approach there. Um, I was wondering if you maybe want to just go through her parts only one time, like just
Okay.
isolate her parts.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah,
that
can
could
we
be
try
cool.
that? Because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the time on jobs too, they'll be like, hey, we're just going to record this character's lines.
Okay.
So that is a pretty common thing that you'll encounter is they'll be like, all right, just read through this character's lines only, and then they cut it together later. So can we try that where you just do her part?
Yep.
Yeah.
You bewitched me. You walk with Satan in the dead of night. In the dead of night. Mm, let me try that again.
Okay.
You bewitched me. You walk with Satan in the dead of night. I'll never rest, not while the innocent suffer, while the guilty walk free. This town is cursed, and the dead will not forget.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
good. What do you think?
Um, I feel like I could have done better, but I
That's
feel
okay. I
I
heard
th-
you read some of them differently that time, though, which I think is good that you're exploring different takes. And what's cool is, if you were in a recording session and you had recorded this entire thing, you could, the director can go back through and choose the moments they like the best, which is awesome. So
yeah,
yeah, so let's go ahead and try again. And this time, go ahead and pause between lines and let yourself think a little bit more about like what would have been said right before that and like what you're reacting to and how you want to say it. So go ahead and pause between lines. And then when you deliver, like give a really strong delivery of that individual line.
deal.
Okay.
You bewitched me. You walk with Satan in the dead of night. They'll never rest, not while the innocent suffer, while the guilty walk free. This town is cursed, and the dead will not forget. Mm.
I want to play with that for a moment. So you're doing this kind of like breathier, higher pitched quality, but then we need like a little more intensity when she's like angry and stuff, right? Um,
Yeah.
so can you maybe get louder while keeping that breathy quality? Can we try
Um,
that?
yeah.
And
Yep.
if
I'll do.
it's harder to get louder, can you get softer in the parts that aren't loud? Just so that you have a little more contrast in the volume.
Okay. Yep. Let me try
Okay.
it. You bewitched me. You walk with Satan in the dead of night.
I
They'll
liked that
never
better. Like even just that first line, I liked better already. So
rest.
yeah, let's try the others with that in mind.
Yeah. They'll, they will never rest. Not while the innocent suffer, while the guilty walk free. This town is cursed, while this and the dead will not forget. I
Nice.
feel I feel like the not while the guilty walk free was a lot better,
Mhm.
but kind of slipped into my voice on the this town is cursed and the dead will not forget.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. All right. So I want to go ahead and go back and I want you to try the entire thing again and see if you can, change up her lines this time. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The whole thing or just her
Yeah.
part?
Yep, the
Oh.
whole thing. If you're just doing the like voices and you have other people doing the editing and stuff, they might do different things with how they record, but if you're narrating and doing like everything, it's going to be a lot easier for you editing wise if you can, go through it straight through.
Yeah.
And it'll save you a lot of time. So, let's go
True.
ahead and try that.
Mm-hmm.
It began with a shadow glimpsed by a child. The whispers spread quickly. A witch, they murmured.
A servant to the devil himself.
The town gathered, torches flickering like fireflies in the night. Abigail pleaded. She swore upon the Bible, upon her very soul. But the magistrates did not hear her, only the gasping sobs of a young girl, trembling, pointing a finger.
You bewitched me.
The girl cried.
You walk with Satan in the middle of the night, in the dead of night.
The verdict came swiftly. The gallows loomed against the stormy sky, waiting like an open mouth.
Awesome. What'd you think?
I definitely helped a lot with the villagers' voices like a witch, a servant to
Yeah.
the devil himself. I
Yeah.
felt like the creepiness factor of the of the narrator went up too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I would say go ahead and record this one this week too. And once you
Mhm.
get those recorded, I'd love if you would send them to me. If you're feeling solid on them, maybe try recording them right now, like right after we hang up. Just go ahead and get those recorded. Um, and even if like you don't get to editing them yet or whatever, like you could even send me just the raw audio just so I can hear what you do on the recording. Sound good?
Yep, sounds awesome.
Cool. Great work today, Samuel. This was really good. I think you did some really nice practice and work on these this week. And you should be really proud of the progress you've made because you really have come a long way.
Thank you very much.
That was really good. So keep up the good work and I will see you soon. Bye,
Yep, see
Samuel.
ya. Bye.